This is an Audio Wool original.
Cryptids and Conspiracies.
Hey, Byron, did you hear about the crazy, turns out to be hoaxed video that live streamed, what was it, Friday night, I think?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Well, for a while,
this evergreen. I love this. What is it? Explain to me what's going on.
It's going to be a fun story no matter when this is listened to. It just won't be very recent. Okay, there is this guy, turns out to just be a LARPer. Okay, but he, for a while, was recording videos of, he found this weird thing in the desert, and it was this long, cylindrical, like, I don't know, like maybe like 2 or 3 feet long.
A rod?
Like this big around, kind of like a rod, yeah, but at the end, it was silver, metal. At the end, it had like symbols on it, but like, if you look up a picture of it, the symbols were so obviously like hand carved.
Okay.
I mean, like it was, but like it was weird enough that he kept showing it. And then Friday night, he filmed himself cutting into it. And then all of a sudden, this blue light appeared behind him, and it went dark, and he started making these weird noises. The thing is, he didn't have like a big enough following for me to think that it was like a big hoax. So I was actually kind of curious for a while. But then some listeners on a Discord group that I'm a part of, different one from ours, unfortunately. Sorry, not that our listeners wouldn't have figured it out.
Center is a top tier group, and you should go to
it truly is.
.com, of course, yeah.
In fact, I was telling Sam I'm only part of 2 Discord groups, and the second one is basically very similar vibes to ours, just they believe things a little bit more. Anyhow, somebody had found in one of the videos he had posted earlier where he was wearing like very obviously a handmade metal ring. Mm-hmm. And you could see on this tube like the seam from the welding. And so it was like, obviously this guy's a metal worker, and one thing led to another. And yeah, it was totally a hoax. But it was really interesting for about 24 hours, 48 hours maybe.
Kind of reminds
very
me
fascinating.
Of that story we covered not too long ago on Behind the Screams of that gentleman who, maybe that was a main feed. I think it was Behind the Screams, where that gentleman had the technology that would embed into his arm and allow him to travel time after finding that alien body in the woods.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, but his stage performance demonstrating the use of that technology was pretty epic. I don't know, it was pretty great.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was like, reminded me of Job in Arrested Development with his illusions on stage. Anyhow.
My story later involves the creator of that show, by the way.
No.
Tangentially.
What's his name?
Mitch Hurwitz?
Oh, Hurwitz. I was going to say Horowitz. But Hurwitz, I was close.
Not sure. Either way.
Okay. Well, interestingly enough, that was a mini viral video. But we were talking about another story that started with a viral video tonight. And it all began, Byron, in November of 2007. It was just a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. And a fella named Jose, living just outside of Fresno, California, saw on his security camera something that became one of the most adorable and strangest cryptid cases of the 21st century. That's what makes this story personal for me, Byron. Mm-hmm. They're adorable.
Okay.
And from Squonk to Fresno Nightcrawlers, there's nothing better than an adorable cryptid.
Do you recall, was the Fresno Nightcrawler part of our cryptid bracket to determine the best cryptid on Behind the Screams?
I think it was. It was.
And I don't know where it landed, but I remember saying...
I don't think it made it far. I remember you had it was faced up against something really difficult, if I remember correctly.
I think it was at that point where I was like, we will never, ever do the Fresno Nightcrawler. And here we are.
That's crazy. Well, Byron, maybe this reason will help you a little bit. In April of 2020, so 13 years after this original sighting, these same creatures appeared right here in our home state, Byron.
Really? Okay. So the Montana Nightcrawler, or?
I mean, no, he got branded. He's stuck with it. He travels, but he's stuck with it. Okay. November is kind of like a weird month for cryptids, it feels like.
Well, yeah, I mean, because October is for ghouls and ghosts. And then...
Well, and Mothman showed up for the first time in November.
Oh.
Okay. And I don't know if you remember, but last year, this is when those drones in Jersey were going cuckoo bananas.
That was pretty cool.
All right.
Yeah.
You know something funny? They appeared on every single day, supposedly, except for Thanksgiving itself.
They got to take it off. It's a holiday.
Yep. Guess it's a weird month. But all right, so we're going to talk about these two sightings and just a little bit about what the Fresno Nightcrawler is. Byron, there have been many descriptions of this lovely cryptid. You know what he looks like. He, she, they, it. Would you like to describe it for our audience, how you would put into words the appearance of the Fresno Nightcrawler?
I mean, all legs, baby. Mostly legs and a head on top, white body. And I mean, I'm not sure if that's because most of the sightings, or I guess the one of the two, the main one, the Fresno one, is in night vision. So you don't really know. Could be wearing just light colored clothing, I guess. Why would a cryptid wear clothing? But still, that's what it looks like. Mostly legs, yeah, with a little head on top.
Sentient pants.
Okay.
Sure. Is one of my favorites. Yeah, it just looks like this little, I don't know, it reminds me of, I don't know how much you have watched all of the Alien movies, Byron, but I've watched some of them recently. And I really like the idea that there are all of these different forms of our xenomorph, right?
Sure.
Like it's got the face hugger form, it's got the little chest burster form, and kind of like then grows into something. So this reminds me of like maybe what would eventually grow into, say, a praying mantis style alien. I don't know. But it's like, it's a very little rudimentary creature, and it really appears to only have legs. If it does have a body, its body is hilariously overshadowed by its legs.
Tucked right between, almost in the crotch. Let's be real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crotch.
Yeah. And it walks, and like the gait, if you watch the little video of the Fresno Nightcrawler, and of course we'll be showing a link to this video in the show notes of this episode.
Yeah, check it out.
It moves in a pretty weird way, right? So Byron, if you were this gentleman, Jose, in November of 2007, a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, thinking about going home for the holidays, you've got your two dogs with you, your dogs start going crazy. What would you do if you looked on your security camera and saw this outside your house?
Probably go outside, I think. Yeah.
Would you? Actually, you would.
Yeah, I'd go check it out.
You definitely would. Okay, that actually makes sense. Oh, see, oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah, well, he's...
Okay, that's how it all started for Jose.
Oh, no. Here, I'm tucking my dog in. Keep going.
Oh, it's okay, Oliver. You just be quiet there. I promise. Your dad will protect you from these things. Okay, so it was nighttime. It was, in fact, 12:30 in the morning, a little bit after. And Jose gets awoken by his dogs just going bananas, all right, barking like crazy. And this is pretty abnormal. He had recently installed a secondhand closed-circuit TV surveillance system because a bicycle had just been stolen from his house.
Okay. That's fair.
And so he's like, okay, I'm annoyed by this. Also, I mean, he's a dog dad. He's, single dude with some dogs. Like, it makes sense that he's going to have a little bit more time for those things. All right. He looks on this surveillance system once he hears his dogs going crazy. And he saw what he described as an impossibly slender column of white ectoplasm. Love a reference to ectoplasm. Sure. Sweeping across his front lawn. like an emaciated ghost gliding through a neon haze of emerald static. Okay, so the emerald static, obviously, closed circuit TV, night vision.
Night vision,
Yeah.
Still evocative.
Yeah. Another description of the way they look, wishbone shaped head. So it almost looks like it's the tip of a wishbone, right?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. But don't be snapping the Fresno.
No,
Nightcrawler.
Don't snap a Fresno. They're so cute.
Don't need that.
I wonder if squonks are Fresno Nightcrawler's pets.
I don't think that's true. Disrespectful to one of the best and only cryptids that I support. The squonk.
The squonk is just, I agree. His squonk is amazing. 3 to 5 feet tall was the estimate of how big they were. And he watched as these things walked all the way across his yard. Obviously, wonders if he's dreaming.
How many?
But, well, he saw 2.
Okay.
This first night. 2 of them. Okay. Now, he wakes up his brother, who lives with him. His brother opens up the front curtains. Apparently, Jose was not brave enough to do that on his own, but they looked outside and they couldn't see anything. Now, the problem here is that he had this surveillance system set up to overwrite footage if it was rewound during playback.
Regular Epstein situation we got here.
Byron, do you want to, just as an AV pseudo expert, would you like to just explain that a little bit for folks?
Well, I mean, most
how that works
systems, cycle through to either tape or memory because you can't just continue to replace tapes and record stuff if nothing is of value on that. That's a waste of resources. So a lot of systems.
Well, and apparently Jose
setting
rewind.
Yeah, but he had it for 24 hours.
Well, he didn't, keep in mind, the system's new, right? And he didn't really know how to work it, but he knew that it was going to get recorded over, and he was afraid of that. So he actually started filming
the screen,
the monitor.
Interesting.
Okay. Filming the screen. So that's why the only footage that you can see, if you look up this adorable creature online, the only footage you get is pretty grainy. I mean, 2007.
It's a little sus, but okay.
Whatever. It's fine. Here's a kicker, though. Jose's brother went outside that night and saw teeny small footprints on the tiled part of their yard. So in their yard, part of it actually had tiles, like a patio.
Yeah.
And there were footprints.
Are we saying footprints or are they shoe marks? Because I'm just looking at Fresno Nightcrawler pictures. A lot of people are depicting this thing as wearing high heels, which is, I don't know if that's just yassifying or what, but.
Okay, I mean, it could be. Funny enough, when my daughter had a cryptid birthday party a couple years ago, her 2 favorites were Squonk and Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Oh, wow,
and
shout out.
When I was finding fun graphics online for her birthday party, for decorations and stuff, it was very frequent for the Fresno cryptid to be feminized.
Yeah.
Lots of bows, really cute ones with bows in their hair, lipstick on their knot face, high heels. Yeah.
Yeah, but it sounds like regular footprints, regular prints, maybe just prints in general. Who knows?
Yes, exactly. So obviously the footprints, though, are not the size of anything normal. It does not appear that there's any way this could have been a human thing. And it certainly didn't look like any animal that Jose or his brother had ever heard of or seen. Now, Byron, you ever seen the TV show Fact or Faked?
Fact or Faked? No, is that new or old? I mean, I know Fact.
Paranormal Files. It's old.
No, I don't know that.
Okay, so 3 years after this sighting, they covered this case. Okay, and at this point, the story had gone public. People found a reason to question Jose because he did take it to the local Spanish television station, Univision. Okay. That could lend itself to maybe this being a cash grab, certainly. People liked the idea of
it's
going.
news, though. I mean, news is news.
It
right?
is news. I agree. And if I lived in Fresno, I would certainly want to know if these creatures were around because I'd want to figure out how I could catch sight of them myself. I don't know. Byron, would you have taken it to the local news station or what would you have done with it? Again, I'm really interested trying to put you in Jose's shoes.
This is a fun thought experiment, don't you think? If I had something that I believed was real, I would try to make money off of it, of course, right? Like, I'm sitting on a lovely Nick Fuentes interview from, I don't know, 3 years ago.
Yeah, when are you going to do something with that?
We're working on it. But yeah, no. Are
you worried you're going to get canceled like Carlson for sitting down and interviewing Fuentes? Are you worried about that?
We were standing up. It was fine.
Okay. So it'll be better then. Okay, good point. You didn't invite him to sit.
He didn't like me, if that makes anyone feel any better. He was not super.
Were you just not doing a good enough job of faking it or what?
Yeah,
could he tell?
You know what? Actually, I think it was interesting, and we don't need to talk too much about this. But no, he said, "I can't get a read on you," which was kind of wonderful. Like that's kind of one of my superpowers. So, but
yeah,
with someone as suspicious as him, I don't know. Yeah, it was interesting.
I feel like a Fresno Nightcrawler would be good at being impartial too.
Yeah, if I had footage that I believed is real, I'd probably take it to the news. I mean, why? It's not this isn't a serious thing that needs to be it's not a precious thing, I guess. Like it wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people do this with paranormal footage or things like that.
Well, and
the Patterson Gimlin footage didn't make any money.
Well, and here's the thing, guys. I'm not defending and saying I'm not putting my full weight behind the Fresno Nightcrawler, but one of my pet peeves in this space is when people say, "Oh, well, they tried to make money on it, therefore it must be fake." Like that's a pretty bad logical fallacy. It's also a logical fallacy to say they didn't try to make money on it, therefore it's true, right?
Yeah, to use that as evidence.
Neither of those are proof of anything.
Totally.
I think even if something is real, the idea of trying to monetize it is pretty ingrained into our brains as Americans. We live in a very capitalist society, and I don't think that the veracity of a story is either proven or disproven by a person's desire to make money on it. So I'm not saying that Fresno's real, but I'm saying that if it isn't real, I don't think the reason for it not being real is because Jose said, "Hey, Univision, I saw
cash.
This is a weird thing that I saw in my backyard. Check out this footage of footage that I have," right? He was actually very frightened originally, and that's why he didn't even want to go outside. His brother was the one who went outside to check out the footprints. When he was originally interviewed about this and filmed, he didn't want to show his face. He stayed home for a couple of weeks. He was pretty freaked out by it. And I find it interesting that this really doesn't appear to be anything that people had seen before. So when Fact or Faked, The Paranormal Files, it's a sci-fi original show, okay? When they picked up on this story and decided to make an episode about it in 2010, it obviously got a huge boost in popularity, right? It had been a little bit of like a viral internet thing before that, but this really escalated the attention that the story got. The investigative team was actually led by a gentleman we met and went on a night watch with in a Contact in the Desert, Ben Hansen. And
Ben Hansen, is he the drone guy?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guy loves night vision more than most folks. Big fan.
Well, yeah, and he's been the lead on a number of these types of television shows. It's fun to see him exploring this one specifically. The whole point of Fact or Faked is they'll get a video of something paranormal and then they'll try to debunk it by recreating it. Okay. In his words, they failed miserably. They tried, could not recreate it, and they deemed the Nightcrawler unexplainable. So as patently absurd as sentient pants might appear to be,
It's hard to do.
it's apparently hard to fake. And they were able to debunk quite a few different viral videos on that show. And the fact that they weren't able to debunk Fresno Nightcrawler is one of the very surprising things I found when I started researching this. Because to be perfectly honest, I love the idea of the Fresno Nightcrawler, but it has never
Clearly.
occupied space in my brain as
Yeah.
like, oh, this one could be real. Like, that's a pretty reserved space, contrary to your belief, Byron. There aren't many things that make it into that space in my head.
Interesting. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I won't get
You don't
into
need to
that.
write down
Anyhow,
a list of cryptids you don't
I was gonna.
believe in, but
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we do that on Behind the Screams this week. That's some goss.
Which ones?
What ones do you actually consider?
What my gut
credible?
instinct says.
Yeah. I'll
Plus
just
any research that I've done. Yeah.
I'll run down a
I've
list.
got pretty.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hot takes. Okay.
I kind of like that idea. Okay, so this show actually, and supposedly, as legend has it, is what gave it its name, the Fresno Nightcrawler. So it wasn't really until it went on this sci-fi show that it was known that, and it became real famous. A lot of people who are not weirdos like me that spend time investigating these things, a lot of people have heard of the Fresno Nightcrawler. Byron, you had heard of it before me, hadn't you?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I'm trying to think if I was crossing my ideas with it being that or just Jake Gyllenhaal being a cryptid, you know? From his role in Nightcrawler when he was a small
look at
little
you.
ghoulish man. But
He was good in that. He's not small, though. He's a larger guy, isn't he?
is he kind of tall? He was just very gaunt in that.
It is. You can't even say that you like him anymore because there's so many Swifties everywhere. As soon as you say anything about liking Jake Gyllenhaal,
Interesting,
you just get throttled.
I think we're so
I
far
guess
beyond
since
that.
I had a hot take on Sheridan, maybe I better give a hot take on how much I still adore Jake Gyllenhaal.
You're just doing it for the reals,
his performance. His performance in Donnie Darko was so amazing, and that's one of my top 5 favorite movies. And so I will never, ever turn on Mr. Gyllenhaal's performance.
Say him in Roadhouse is better than the original. Let's go.
So here's the weird thing. I said this to some friends a couple weeks ago and got in trouble. I've actually only seen his version. I've never seen the original.
Okay, see, this does rule. You are doing a great job of being controversial right now.
I don't even mean to be.
Congratulations.
I told you about how my friend introduced me as Never Switzerland.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah, you are classically never Switzerland. Yeah.
Yeah, but I really, I did like Roadhouse. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was really fun. Maybe the original was fun.
I skipped the
I didn't
premiere,
care as much about Patrick Swayze, to be perfectly honest. Okay. I mean, may he rest in peace. He seemed like he was probably a decent dude. I'm just saying, like, I wasn't like a gaga Dirty Dancing person.
Sure.
I've never seen the movie Ghost. Like,
all right.
Anyhow, but coming full circle, Jake Gyllenhaal was good in Nightcrawler. He was better in Donnie Darko. And his sister is making the coolest version of Frankenstein ever. It's like Bonnie and Clyde meets Frankenstein. So it looks like the best. I'm so excited. Anyhow, sorry.
Family, this is the Thanksgiving episode. So
Thanksgiving family. All right. Sorry, he shouldn't have been mean to T Swift, but I still really like him.
Sometimes people just break up, and that's okay.
Now, fast forward. Now it's 2010, shortly after this episode comes out. Okay. Turns out that Jose passed away.
Oh.
No. Yeah, car accident. And there was a local investigator, a gentleman named Camacho.
Just
actually,
one name?
No, Camacho.
Officer or
not Camacho? What? Camacho. He was basically a paranormal investigator. Sure. Victor is his first name. Okay. The show is called Los Desvelados. The Sleepless Ones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And apparently Univision got in touch with him when the footage was originally reported. And so he actually visited Jose's family a number of times, but then they fell out of contact. Jose's family moved. And by the time shortly after this came out, the episode on Sci-Fi that kind of made this a worldwide phenomena, Camacho found out that Jose had passed away. Really, really sad. Very sad.
I keep waiting for a twist, like they found like big pants in his car or something.
No,
nothing?
no, nothing like that. But
He didn't get a bunch of wedgies as a kid, and this is like his ultimate revenge.
his payback?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
All right.
But a year after that, so now we're in March of 2011, Yosemite National Park. There had been some vandals damaging property. So they set up some cameras and they caught something very similar to what Jose had caught on camera.
All right.
Right? Two creatures. This time it appears to be an adult and a juvenile. Just a cute little guy.
Yeah, I see a little guy in the distance
And
there,
a bigger guy.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. And other than that, they look really similar.
Yeah,
really similar.
Why set to 2, huh?
I don't know.
Maybe
2 by 2?
Honestly, it could be that they mate for life, and that isn't a child. That's a smaller version, male female or something like that.
Oh, could be. Could be.
Huh. Interesting.
Very interesting, I think. There was another brief sighting in Poland in 2017. There was one in Carmel, Ohio. Apparently, this was a 7-foot tall one. A former Marine and his wife caught sight of it. And then, Byron, we get to April of 2020.
Is this the most recent?
Well, this is the second most important because it's Billings, Montana.
Oh, gross. No one wants to be in Billings.
I know. So
Yeah.
Montana, you guys, great. I have to say
Awesome.
Billings.
Well, actually, don't tell them that. Tell them it's awful and no one should ever come here.
True. Billings should be
however,
really
you should
pretty,
go
right?
go visit Billings.
It's the Yellowstone River Valley. Okay. It's got the rim rocks all around it. Wildlife encounters are pretty common over there.
A lot of fentanyl if you want to get fentanyl too.
Lots of most things that you shouldn't get are over there.
Okay. All right.
Billings kind of reminds me of Spokane
Sure. Kind of
in the sense that it's got like all of the things that you associate with like negatively with larger populated areas and really none of the good ones. Like there aren't any amazing museums or like incredible cultural
small town
opportunities.
Small town with big city problems.
Have you ever seen Big City Greens? That's such a fun show. Anyhow, yeah, moving right along. Gentleman named Sean Ragan. Okay, he was taking out his trash near his propane tank. That's a very Montana statement, don't you think?
Yeah.
Noticed something disturbing: a dead deer. Now,
pretty common.
Okay, but in Montana, a lot of people, Byron, you and I are a bit of exceptions to this rule. A lot of people hunt. And he had noticed this deer, the very same one, earlier on his property that morning because it had some unique markings on it. And so it kind of freaked him out that this deer was then suddenly dead on his property. He got closer and he found a large, precisely cut hole in the deer carcass. Like an incision.
Huh.
Okay? And he was very specific, not like a mountain lion attack. Here's his quote. Now, I've seen what mountain lions do to their prey. I've seen what bears do. This was neither. The cut was surgical, precise, deliberate. You heard that before, Byron?
Yeah, I worked on a documentary with Seth about surgical cuts on cattle. And I guess we also did a series on it. Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me. Do you know how many episodes I talked to you about surgical cuts on cattle?
Yeah,
remember chronic wasting disease? Remember prions? Remember how shortly after I did that, we found out the chronic wasting disease is in Montana?
I think a fawn in my parents' orchard had it. It was really sad. They watched this fawn grow all for months, and then suddenly, it was just dead in the yard. So,
well, what I find interesting about this whole incision thing, this was only a little bit before chronic wasting disease showed up in Montana officially. So the idea of somebody trying to sample and see if it was around, I don't know. I don't think that's altogether far-fetched. Of course, it could have been a Fresno Nightcrawler because he was stunned to see on his security camera footage from the night before,
Something
just at the edge of the frame. And you got to watch it. I had to watch it a couple of times.
Okay.
Just at the edge of the frame, a Fresno Nightcrawler pops out and then pops off again. He like peeks his head into the frame.
Sure.
Or his legs, rather. And then he zips out again. Byron, are you going to show this clip for our lovely audience?
I'll throw this up on the screen, actually, but I'm watching it right now. It's about 37
Okay, upper right-hand corner. Keep your eyes on the upper right-hand corner.
Okay, there's like a flashlight or headlights in the corner there. Oh, okay.
Did you see him? You saw him, didn't you? Isn't he cute?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what that could be, but I'll let the folks watching this at youtube.com/Frightday take a peek at that. Yeah. If not, there'll probably be a link in the show notes as well.
And Byron, I don't know if the video you're playing has audio on it, but Sean had a camera that was better, obviously, than the one in 2007 that Jose used.
That's true.
13 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it caught a grunting sound on the camera, which Sean described as almost pig-like, but not like anything he's heard in the Montana wilderness. And I've spent a lot of time in the Montana wilderness.
Are you sure?
Well, I was talking for Sean there, but
sorry. Okay.
I've spent some.
Yeah.
Some. I would not say a lot. I've spent some.
Yeah. Interesting. This is crazy. It's not that crazy. It's kind of crazy. I'll let people take a peek at it. It's very interesting, compelling footage.
And if you hear that grunt, it is a pretty weird sounding noise. Oh, Byron, I'm sorry. Did I step on the grunt?
Oh, no, I'm not playing the audio. Sorry.
Oh, okay. There are a number of people, of course, over the years who have broken down the audio, who've tried to recreate it themselves, separate from Ben Hansen and his show. You know, it does seem like a weird story. Why would Jose create this and then like hide and not want to be known? That doesn't mean that it's true. It means that it's an interesting piece that I'd like to understand.
Mm-hmm.
The whole piece with Sean in Montana, what is with the incisions? And why would he do it? This was in the middle of the pandemic.
I think a lot of people were bored during the pandemic, and a lot of people were scared during the pandemic. You know, like
it's true. I mean, it wasn't very nice to add more fear if he did fake it, but this was pretty early on.
Well, let's try to reach out to Sean and see what he says.
I love that idea. I'd love to hear what Sean has to say. But if you talk to Victor Camacho, he says he believes to the core of his being that whatever happened in Fresno and whatever happened in Billings, at the very least, that those two are 100% authentic. You know, the part that I find the weirdest is once it starts crossing over into the cattle mutilation adjacent territory, because that does raise a lot of questions for me about, was this, I mean, I guess it could just be that it happened on the same night too. Who knows if the Fresno Nightcrawler actually had anything to do with the dead deer, with the weird incision. Seems like two such weird things would have to be connected, but maybe not. Weirder things have happened. And I would like to know any more that they found. One of the reasons I'd love to talk to Sean, to find out any more that they found about what was going on with that deer. If they were able to, you know, if Fish, Wildlife and Parks came and took it, ran any tests on it, etc. Yeah. So, Byron, one of the things that I got to thinking about as I was wrapping up this story, I feel like the Fresno Nightcrawler is really ripe for a T-shirt. Okay. Really seems like we should have a T-shirt, especially knowing that there's a Montana version of it. I feel like there's got to be some type of cool creative brilliance that you can apply
I don't hate it.
to Fresno. And I wouldn't mind having that up so I could buy those for
the
my
holidays.
friends for Christmas.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, Kelly. Thanks so much for that report. I think that's not a bad idea to make some Fresno Nightcrawler merchandise. Put it up for pre-order.
Little
for the holidays.
stuffies, little dog toys.
I can make you a stuffy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The tariffs have been kind of wild lately, but
I know it's bad, isn't it?
Yeah,
we will put some links up in the show notes so you guys can dig into this a little bit more yourself if you'd like. But
yeah, take a peek.
Keep your eyes peeled.
And
send us Ring camera footage, everybody.
Of course, you know I love Ring camera footage, but
yeah, we all do.
Love your family. Hope everyone is doing. I love your family, but also love your family and go enjoy your time with them. Everyone.
Oh, I was gonna say I love your family too, B.
Thanks, Kelly.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And
if you're not having any fun, jump on Discord. You'll have fun there, and we'd love to say hi.
And yeah, say hi and also stay scared.
Stay scared.
You've been listening to an Audio Wool original, produced by Byron McKoy. Theme music is provided by Yawns. For more programs like this, visit audiowool.co.